I'm Kayla.
I'm Anna. This is Laughs and Legacies. Hey, welcome back to Laughs and Legacies. First, go check out our giveaway that we just posted on our Instagram. We're doing a team up with Mock Sips & Co. They have a cool mocktail company creating the most delicious, fun-looking mocktails. We have 2 vouchers from them, a new Stanley, and a couple other cute Christmassy things. Go check out our Instagram on how you can enter to win. The deadline is December 9th, and then afterwards we'll announce the winner. Mm-hmm. For today's episode, we have My Kids Did This.
We got so many good stories. We were dying laughing at some of these. Honestly, we just couldn't stop. So, we couldn't decide between all of them. We decided to do a 2-parter. This is part 1. Next week you'll get part 2. And of course, I just had to start off with one of my own stories. It's hard. It was hard to decide because obviously as a newer mom of just one, you just think everything they do is amazing. You're like, oh, I could share this. But no. This one stuck out like a sore thumb. I was getting ready for something. Can't remember. Doing my hair, and Xander must have been... He was pretty little. I'm going to say 5 months. And I had him in those little walkers. He just sat there right outside the bathroom while I'm curling my hair. And I'm going, what is that smell? It just stinks so bad. Oh, I guess I didn't do this. Disclaimer. Some of these stories are poop stories. So if that makes you sick, I apologize.
More than half of them are poop stories. Okay, continue.
I go, what is that smell? I mean, I just gave it away, but I look over at him, and he has pooped so much. It went through his pants, through his diapers, through his clothes, through the walker, onto the floor, and he is just slipping on his feet. Oh. And I was like, what do I even do with this? Oh. I just stared at him for like a couple minutes, like, I am getting ready for this event. I can't remember what it was. I'm so late. And now I have to figure out how I'm going to clean this child. Oh, and I'm by myself. And so you're like, how do I do all this? And he's not old enough to sit up in a bathtub by himself. So I'm like trying to hold him and not drop him. I'm like, this is horrible. But it's hysterical. And I will definitely be telling him this and his future wife one day that he just pooped through everything.
Slipping around in the walker as mom's trying to get ready. He's just enjoying himself. He was
so happy, though. The little smile on his face.
Of course he was enjoying himself. Next story is from our Auntie Carol. She named it... Oh, wait, no, I named it. Orange's Dark Confessions. This one's good. So, Mike and Carol were at a meeting at church when they got a daunting call from the police. The police were at their home with their teenage children. They rushed out of the meeting. That's a good start. Yeah, it always starts good with teenage children and the police. Mm-hmm. They rushed out of the meeting home, and when they arrived, the police officer stated that their neighbor had called in and reported that their kids had been throwing oranges at his window. Carol and Mike asked a couple of their kids if they had indeed chucked oranges at this guy's window. One of their sons says, "No, Mom, I didn't. I didn't throw oranges at his window. I don't know what he's talking about." Their son proceeds to then tell them that the neighbor had come over, screaming and yelling at them. Their daughter was so scared that she ran up to her room hiding from this guy. So Carol and Mike were pretty upset about this.
As they should be.
Yeah, some guy just came and yelled at their kids without them there too, yeah. And they told the police that they would handle it and that they would go talk to their neighbor. They went across the street together and confronted their neighbor. Carol said to their neighbor, "You called the police on my children? Did you see them throw oranges at your window?" And the neighbor says, "No." She says, "How do you know it was them? You don't know. You called the police on them. Weren't you a fire chief?" He says, "Well, yeah." She says, "You know better how to deal with children, and you should never go yell at children without their parents there. Go grab the parents." And so she just tells this guy off.
Yeah. I would have too, honestly.
Yeah. About 4 to 5 years later, one of their sons...
Took this long.
He says, "You know, Mom, I finally got to tell you the truth." We did throw oranges at that guy's window. We were just too afraid to tell anyone once the police got there. Oh, Carol was just flabbergasted. She says, we're going to march over to that guy's house right now and tell him. The neighbor passed away.
Shut up. Oh my gosh. He's died?
Oh, yeah.
That is so sad.
Oh,
She was so ready to go make him apologize, and he was gone. That's so sad.
oh, man.
Friggin' 5 years later, like, oh, that haunted him for 5 years that he lied.
He, like, went on a mission, came home, did all these things, and oh, man. And she told me the other night, she says that specific son that had the confession, she said that he's gotten the police call on him, like,
too many times.
Like 7 times. He's such a good kid.
He was the naughty kid. He hid his naughtiness well, because he
so
seemed
awesome.
like the angel. So, our next story is actually from Carol as well. Oh my gosh, it's too funny.
Read the title.
It's called Poop Party. So she said, one of her children was invited to a birthday party at Jungle Gym Playland. It was a super fun indoor place with tons of, slides, toys, obviously a jungle gym, things like that. They had dropped him off for the party and let them have their fun. When it was over and it was time for them to pick them back up, they went, and it took them a minute to search through the jungle gym trying to find them. And when they did finally notice them, he was up inside the jungle gym. And you know how most of those have kind of like little windows where you can see the kids run past? Yeah, so he saw him in there. And he thought it was a little strange. It looked like he had paint all over him. Like, where did the paint come from? So, of course, he waved him down saying, hey, time to come down. We're going home. And as he was coming closer and closer to him, he discovered that it wasn't paint, but it was poop.
Oh, man. Not the jungle gym thing.
He had pooped, the child had pooped themselves inside the jungle gym, and within all their playing and running around, gotten all over their body. And to quote this next part, because it was too good, the parent said, I wanted to dig a hole right then and at that point and bury myself. Because he was so embarrassed.
Someone gotta go clean it.
So, the story's not over.
Oh.
So, it was not only spread all over their kid, but all over all the stuff and all the way down the slide that he came down to come to him and all over the toys. So, as fast as he could, he took off all the kids' clothes, ran up to the bathroom, took his clothes off, and tried cleaning up as much as he could. And he couldn't remember how he even left, if he ended up putting other clothes back on or just took them out naked or whatever the situation was. But he did not say a word to anybody. None of the friends that threw the party, none of the workers. He just booked it out of there. He's like, I was so embarrassed and I just did not want to deal with that at all.
All the other kids are coming out of there with paint
With
covered
poop.
all over them, and they're like, that's not paint.
That's so terrifying. Somebody got sick from that, I'm sure. That's so disgusting. They would have had to shut that place down for a solid couple days.
They had to have someone go in there and crawl through the jungle gym
to disinfect.
and clean it.
Oh, that's so nasty.
It's
hilarious, but it's disgusting.
That's a really good story. I love it. Oh, man. Oh, the next one, also from Carol.
I know, they're all from Carol. But
that's why it's a two-parter, okay? We have so many stories from other people, too. But this one's just... Oh.
We couldn't split these ones up.
This one's called YMCA Pool Poop. They had just joined the YMCA because it was right down the street from our house. And
have you ever been to the YMCA?
I honestly didn't even know it was like a thing. I just thought it was a part of that song. YMCA.
I've never been.
We should go.
I've heard not good things, including the story.
We shouldn't go. Okay, hold on. We'll talk about that later. Where was I? Okay. So they went to the YMCA down the street from them because it was Arizona, it's super hot, and they had an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. So there was choices, right? And they had brought all their kids there. They were going to just spend the day there and swim and have a good time. Now, right as they get there, Mike, her husband, he says, "Man, it smells like feet. It smells awful. Like, it just smells like feet, right?" And all their kids, they just jump in, and one of their kids, he jumps in, and he sees something at the bottom of the pool. He's like, "I'm going to go get it." And he comes up and shows his dad, and in his hand, in their words, they said it was the biggest turd they had ever seen. It was just squished and soggy in his hand, and he held it up for everyone in the YMCA to see.
I can't stop laughing. It's just so gross. What little kid wants to go pick up a big turd and just, "Look, Mom"?
Well, hold on. When you go down there, it was just like this brown thing. He didn't know what it was, and so he wanted to take it up into the air and like just to see what it was. And so they didn't know until he brought it up, like what it was. Otherwise, I have a feeling he wouldn't have grabbed it.
My question is how did it just not disintegrate in the pool?
It was probably fresh. Okay, let's continue. Let's not talk about the poop,
the grossness of it.
They got rid of that membership and never went again. As they should. But they did say that son had gotten in trouble and sat out the next time that they went swimming because they didn't
trust him.
They were like, "You do not pick up poop from the bottom of the pool."
I'm literally dying. I can't. That's so nasty.
That concludes the poop stories for today.
Yeah, it concludes the poop stories. It actually just concludes our first part because we don't want to take up too much time, and we have so many good stories. So definitely tune in for next week for more My Kids to This. We love it. We absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Kids are naughty. And it's the best kind of story. So,
and don't forget about the giveaway. Go ahead and look on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out the prize. You'll want it, and you'll help us out. So, woo!
Yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.